What is extreme music and how do artists experience the extreme? Who do you think is the most extreme musician of history?
History? Jerry Lee Lewis. You have to think of it in these terms. You think of something like Throbbing Gristle in the mid-'70s. In order to do something as weird as that now, what would you have to do? In order to do something as weird as The Who destroying all their gear in the mid-'60s, what would you have to do now?
Imagine seeing that for the first time. Seeing him like destroy his drum kit on the Smothers Brothers show in '67, also when I was born. I mean, that was like, I saw that and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be a fucking crazy drummer.
So extreme now, I mean, you know, it's Merritt's bow, is that extreme? No. You know, running a vacuum cleaner through guitar amps and stuff like that is not extreme.
It's amazing how the way time changes things. Like music that everyone thinks is sort of unlistenable, suddenly 10 years later you hear it on TV commercials. It's like how everything, what was once underground becomes so commercial as time goes on, because what happens is, you know, the kids that are at your shows that grow up and they become the ad executives in 20 years that are running these agencies, and they go, this is the music I like. So suddenly, you know, you're buying a car to the tune of Sepultura.
The early stuff in Brazil, people thought we were the worst band ever. Like everybody, like we were friends. Yeah. Friends didn't like us, you know.
Is it kind of weird for you, or?
No, I mean that's just the way it is. I mean it's weird. It was weird.
It's the nature of the game.
It's just the way nature of life. I mean it is weird sometimes, but because you know when I was a kid, it was like, oh, you thought you were like so crazy because you listened to the Ramones, and now the Ramones seems like, you know, mellow.
The most incredible fucked up thing I've ever seen in the history of fucking rock and roll. I was in San Francisco, and it was actually a band from Australia called Lubricated Goat. Do you remember that band? You don't remember that band? They took a fucking dead goat and they put it in a freezer for about 3 weeks until it was frozen the fuck solid. They brought it out on stage and they hit it with a sledgehammer, and that thing broke apart like a piece of glass.
You said, like, for example, in this interview, that Venom were the band that got you really excited by, like, black metal.
Venom used to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
Well, not a little kid, but I mean, an 18-year-old back then was far more sheltered than an 18-year-old these days. And you'd see the pictures of Venom in magazines like that and just be like, these guys are serious.
Did you ever see Venom back in the day?
Never saw Venom.
No.
But we were always big fans of them.
So I think there's like this dumb misconceptions about heavy music that it's one-dimensional when it's fucking so vast and like complex and different. And it's often really funny.
Speaking honestly, some grindcore bands are too friggin' serious. Talk about things that are passionate and that's cool. It's also nice to have a laugh, you know, and I like that.
I'm not going to lie, I've certainly gone to black metal shows and laughed at how ridiculous it was. Like, have you ever done this?
Yeah, I will choose to answer that more by telling you an amusing story about when I went to see Mayhem and Watain in Pittsburgh a year and a half ago. Both of them had like animal stuff on stage, like pig's heads, but Mayhem got new fresh ones every show. Hellhammer came on the tour bus and he was like, oh dude, I just found this other way to walk to the bus. That's supposed to be the quick way, but out this one door. But I had to walk past Watain's pig heads. And dude, we change our fucking pig heads every day. I think those things are rotting, and I think they've been using the same ones for like the last 2 weeks.
Who do you think is the most extreme musician?
It's an old tested thing, but I mean, obviously Michael Guyer and the early Swans would strike me as being very sort of innovative in the fact that, you know, some people just couldn't get them. Before they joined Napalm, you liked the fact that you were into stuff that people didn't particularly get. Shields, Kevin Shields from My Bloody Valentine. Because his techniques are insane, you know, it's like the fact that it sounds like it's being slowed down, it's going backwards. I don't do drugs anymore, but when I did it was insane, it was good, you know. I like the fact that you can listen to something that makes you feel like you were, you know, on the floor, stoned out of your mind in 1991. Because that imprints itself in your head, you know. So that again would be someone, you know, Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth, people like that, you know, because they challenge stuff because they did things differently and different guitar tunings. And as a metal guitarist, whatever, you know, you take what you hear in your head and you process it that way, but it's different to how they do it. Because you know we're doing a Sonic Youth cover on the Napalm record. We're doing White Cross.
Oh really?
Yeah, so we're doing White Cross and we're analysing how they do it, trying to work it out, and it's very different to how they do it and how I hear it. So some of those people to me are like challenging, like, you know, Steve Albini from Big Black, you know, Buzz Osborne from Melvins, you know, even though he's a friend of mine, I admire him a lot because he's not afraid to do whatever the fuck he wants, and I like that. We did the John Peel radio sessions.
And this is, well, there are two numbers here: Unchallenged Hate and Murdered Mentally.
You know, we were a grindcore hardcore band, but when people heard that John Peel were playing us, all of a sudden people like The Wedding Present, maybe the band The Wedding, were liking us, and people like Jesus Jones and all these strange people were getting into us.
Man, what John Peel did for music and sort of breaking bands and, you know, taking a chance on bands and sort of guiding people and listening, like, whoa.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I mean, from where he came from, you know, his thing was that if he didn't like a band at first, then he thought there was something wrong with him. It was because of him, you know, he crossed Napalm over to a whole different audience. And in the 90s, we kind of we followed the more death metal origins of the band, but as the past 10 years have gone on, we've managed to sort of blend it back in again. And I like the fact that, you know, we're pushing the noise boundaries really the way it should always be, really.